I hated Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Everything about this movie is an affront on what I enjoy about aliens and predators. I'm not going to say the first AVP is a classic piece of cinema or anything. It doesn't have very memorable characters or a groundbreaking story. It's just monsters and an hour of Indiana Jones booby traps. That's about it. But this movie makes the first AVP look like the greatest film in this solar system. I think part of the problem is the brothers Strauss and their complete lack of directorial experience. Before this, they had done music videos and special effects work, which isn't really the kind of experience I think you would need to do a big budget blockbuster like this. Maybe the producers thought this would be a fine place to take a chance on these up-and-comers, but I think that was a mistake. When you look at the first Alien movie, the xenomorph spends a lot of screen time in the shadows. That's to hide the fact that this is a man in a costume. Shadows can effectively do that a lot better than throwing the monster in broad daylight. I'm sure the brothers Strauss were thinking along these lines for this movie, so literally every scene with the monster was shot in darkness, and as an added bonus, let's throw in some rain in there so that nobody can tell what is going on. At least the first Alien movie, you do eventually get to see the monster, and it's well worth the wait. I still don't know what the Predalien looks like, and I'll bet the cast and crew of this movie don't either. While the first AVP movie no doubt disappointed a lot of people, one thing it did do right was zero in on a smaller group of characters. I felt like I got to know the lead a little bit throughout the movie, because the film knew where to keep the focus. AVP Requiem chose the setting of a small town. Some characters get more screen time than others, but there is no central focus here like in the Predator and Alien movies that came before. You have Dallas returning home from somewhere. Wikipedia says prison, but the movie didn't make that very clear. I thought maybe the military, since it seems like he and Kelly know each other, and they're arriving in town on the same day. Dallas's brother working the pizza delivery job, and the girl that he has a crush on, the sheriff looking for the missing people, and then Kelly returning from a tour in the military. The movie keeps bouncing between these different subplots, as well as the new Predator coming to clean up this mess with the Predalien from the previous movie, and it's simultaneously too much going on, and also not enough with each of these story threads. This might have worked if it was a miniseries like Stranger Things, where you spend a lot of time with each character as the monster threat grows, but this is less than 2 hours. We don't have time for all of these disparate subplots. Though since we're on that, a slightly longer runtime than the previous movie could have helped give us more time to get to know some of these characters a little bit better. I do think you could streamline this movie into a little bit of a coherent story. For one, let's get rid of Ricky's crush Jesse. This was my least favorite part of the movie, and it doesn't really connect with anything else going on. All the other subplots kinda touch base with each other, making the movie feel a little less disjointed. Dallas is friends with Sheriff Morales, so that connects Ricky and the sheriff. And if you replace Ricky and Jesse's pointless love story with Ricky being upset that Dallas has been out of his life for the last 3 years, you could thematically connect their subplot with Kelly coming home from the military and having trouble connecting with her daughter. But if you think you have to have some kind of romance vibe in your action horror monster movie, say that Kelly and Dallas used to be a thing before she married this guy. That would explain them giving each other bedroom eyes when they're in the restaurant, and it would then connect all of these subplots together. The next character thing that could have improved this movie by a mile would be adding some hostility between Dallas and Sheriff Morales. It's almost there, as Dallas reminisces about the hijinks they used to get into when they were younger, and now Dallas is getting back from prison, and Morales is the sheriff. Later in the movie, there's a disagreement about where the survivors should go. Dallas thinks they should listen to the military and go to the center of town, but Kelly thinks that strategy doesn't make sense, and believes the military is lying. They end up splitting their forces, with Dallas and Morales parting ways then and there. If you put a little more hostility between these former BFFs who went down diverging paths, then this disagreement on where they should all go feels a little bit more earned. And you, the audience, can question if Dallas is following Kelly because he still has the hots for her, or if he actually agrees with her. Honestly, this movie probably would have been a big mess no matter what, but I like to think these small changes could have improved it a little bit. But what do you guys think? If you like this kind of thing, check out some of the other videos that I do around here. And in the meantime, I'll see you guys in the future. Have a good one.